Yes, respect for everyone passing through again. Really appreciate you guys being here again, especially if this is the second time being here for the day. You don't know, go and watch that video that I dropped early this morning, doing a quick recap on some of the shining lights of the Reggae Boy players that play for their club team over the weekend. But the Reggae Girl squad is out, very strong squad. You understand? Is it safe for me to say that this Reggae Girl group, the first run of the World Cup qualifier group, is it that I'm safe to say this is a soup group as well? You know, I want to get the build up. You understand? I want to get the build up of the Reggae Girls in I want to do at least 2 more videos going into that big game, you know, in what, St. Lucia, they said the game going to play in. St. Lucia playing Dominica in it's on a neutral ground as well. Should be a little bit of advantage, more advantage. As you know, the strength and the power of this group, you know, is overwhelmed, you know, should be overwhelmed on the pitch versus this Dominica team. But is it safe to say of what happened? Yeah, what happened September, October, and November for the Reggae Boys? Is it safe for me to say this is a soup group? You understand what? 5 teams is in this group. 1 team will advance to the next round. I think you have 6 groups. Yeah, you have 6 groups. So the winners will advance to the big stage coming up next year. Next year around this time in November, where you will have that mini tournament keep in the US, where you will have Canada and the US will fall in the pecking order to join up with the other 6 group winners. But Reggae Girls should advance to the next stage. Yeah, man, the Reggae Girls should advance to the next stage. I'm telling you, very good squad. I like it. You know, it's not a 23 women squad. You know, so a 21 women, you know, in the team, the 2 goalkeepers and 19 outfield players. It's just 1 game in this window. You know, this is what you get, you know, from a group stage with a number of teams that's in it. 5 teams, you know, you're not going to get 2 games window. Not every team's going to get that in every window. But I was hoping, you know, at least, my God, you know, a little friendly, even against a team. I mean, maybe all of the teams are occupied playing, you know, World Cup qualifier games. But at least, man, you could have probably get an extra friendly, but they will say money. You know, they will need a lot of money to get friendlies on the board. But again, it's good to see the Reggae Girls, you know, squad is back, and also the Reggae Girl icon, the iconic, yeah, Bunny Shaw is back. You understand? And I must say this as well. When I see Bunny Shaw, you know, amongst the Reggae Girls that got called up, you know, in the squad, I will be a little bit more excited. But you know the thing with sometime, you know, with Bunny Shaw, not saying that she's a player that typically pulled out of squad, but it's been a while since she have absent. So World Cup qualifier is back, Bunny Shaw is back, and this is you know, we should get, you know, some fresh Bunny Shaw until the end of this first round qualifier. Why? You know, Bunny Shaw is not playing any European football. You know, so it's more of a game of like every 5-6 days. Bunny Shaw will be playing for Manchester City, and actually, she will be fresh. You know, she's looking to at least make this advantage of not playing in Europe to give that title race, you know, Chelsea a shot for their money, and also Manchester United what they did in the Manchester derby. So Rebecca and Sydney, you know, good goalkeepers. We don't need any more goalkeepers, and you could see a few missing pieces. You know, drop down a few pointers, players that, you know, I think that, you know, missing from the squad, like Vivian Sampson, you know, Kayla McKenna, Trudy Carter, Jaela, you know, McPherson, and, you know, Swaby as well. So this squad still should be strong enough to take, you know, to do the job in, you know, St. Lucia versus Dominica. But I love it. The midfield is well balanced. You know, we have you know, we have Primus, we have Drew Spence. But if you look at, you know, even the center forward, you know, I want to see the likes of Jody Brown. Jody Brown, you know, for the Reggae Girls, been acting like a demagogue over the last year or so. It's safe to say, since the World Cup, Jody Brown hasn't give us that real true performance that we know she can give on the day for the Reggae Girlz as well. You understand? So good to see that the Reggae Girlz are back, but the likes of, you know, Bonnie Shaw, you know, Jody Brown, you know, Seria A, you know, Natasha, you know, these players, love to see these players, you know, getting continue pick in the Reggae Girlz squad, at least could farm that bond, that partnership, and, you know, get that team chemistry going, because look, it's going to be needed. You know, the rest of the CONCACAF, they're talking about Panama, Haiti, Mexico as well. Look at what they did, you know, to us in the little friendly tour that the Mex tour they call it. Look at what they did. They dismantled us, didn't score any goal. You know, so the teams are coming, you know, very hard. Costa Rica, these women program have all improved. The Panamanian women as well. You understand? They have all improved. But the test in this group should be more likely Nicaragua. You understand? More likely Nicaragua should be the test in this group. But Big Bunny is back. You understand? We have Big Bunny, you know, fresh and ready to go. So big up, you know, to Busby, the coach. Big up to Busby, the coach. Dean Burton, the assistant coach. Hopefully they get the best preparation and the girls can give it their best shot. But I'm going to say, man, the Reggae Girlz, there's no turning back in this group. No turning back in this group. I love this group. You know, I love this squad. You know, you look at the how the squad select. The defensive line is balanced. When you look at the midfield is balanced. The forward line is balanced. It's not too, you know, it's not, they overcrowd, you know, the three departments. You know, I think you have like 6 defenders. You have like 6, I think you have 6, you know, midfielders and like 7 forwards, you know, so it's a balanced, well-structured, organized group of players that, you know, Busby picked, you know, to play this one and only game versus Bermuda. And I'm expecting nothing less, you know, than 4 love. Nothing less than 4 love on the day. You understand? Nothing less than 4 love on the day. Also, I want to move on, you know, but before I say this, the Reggae Girlz come up in a wrong time where the nation is still a little bit traumatized of what happened. So can the Reggae Girlz, you know, shed some light on the nation to bring back some little joy of us watching the national team? Because I think March is the next FIFA window for the men's team, so the Reggae Girlz will have a few window from here until then, you know. So let's see if the Reggae Girlz can keep us, you know, happy, keep us intact with the national team, and hope that 2026 will bring a memory year for the national team, where if the reggaeboyz team will qualify for the World Cup in that intercontinental playoff, and the Reggae Girlz as well, if they can finish as a semi-finalist, 4 direct spot and 2 playoff spots. So 6 teams coming from CONCACAF. If the Reggae Girlz cannot get by, then I don't know what's going to happen. You understand? You know, 6 teams, 4 direct spot and 2 playoff spot. If we can't get there, then I don't know. Then we can say that there is a curse on our country. You understand? But that's all I have to say, you know, around the Reggae Girlz. Also, the Craig Butler war and Speed, it seems like it will never end. It will never end. This is a war that there's no ending to it. Craig Butler has been lashing out. Craig Butler has been speaking from the final whistle inside of a national stadium when we drew to Curacao until now. Butler been lashing out. And boy, may I tell you, Rodal Speed back must be a broad one. Broad like a big plyboard. How much belt buckler wheel crossing back? Oh, you understand the criticism that is coming his way. You understand where his position, where he's coming from, the position that he's taking up at this time. People going to have their say, you know, and people going to have, you know, their questions to ask around the appointment of, you know, the new interim head coach, you know, Rodal Speed. And Butler have said a few pieces, and this is piece of the stuff that he have said, you know, Rona nationwide.
So even gotten worse, because now coach of the national team, and he also owns and is the coach of a club, and he has been doing it for quite a while. So I don't see any improvement coming. I know the players don't like him and don't respond well to him and are not motivated by it. I've seen it. So the fact that he has taken this position and been allowed to manipulate and control the JFL will carry us further down the rabbit hole. Who has the most experience in international football? It's Craig Butler. Who has seen how for example, the Belgian golden generation was developed? It was developed between 2012 and 2016. I was in Belgium working there with Genk at the time when all of this was done. So I saw it. Who has developed the most talented Jamaican in the last 20 years?
I also, speak on a lot of stuff in terms of philosophy in the football, how to get a team structure, get a playing style, everything, how to develop. You can go in a BAM Sports and watch that as well. So, Butler has been lashed up. But there's a few things that, I want to ask this question. And this is not me advocating for, Redding man / Merron Garden. This is not me advocating for him to be the coach, right? For somebody that been around the program for such a very long time, different head coaches, right? Grimmy, Paul, I want to say maybe Tapper, I'm not sure. Also, he's here with Steve McLaren. You telling me that there's so many changes is happening in around the national team when it comes on to coaching, head coach, and I've never heard of Merron Garden, he's making a shout, making a claims for that head coach position, especially during this position at this time where a lot of people is saying that Rudolph Speed is jumping the line. Yeah, he's skipping the line where Miguel Coley, they must say, more qualified than him. Miguel Coley have more experience. He would have been the assistant coach, probably like 10 years ago under Winford Schaefer. Also, Merron Garden would have been in the dugout, numerous occasions with the national team for years. You telling me that Merron Garden just be silent and just don't want to be the head coach of the national team one day, and seeing that Steve McLaren exiting the door, that there's another opportunity for him to at least verbally making a claims of, hey, I need it. But I want to say, I think I heard a rumor went around in the past, just a few days, that Merron Garden is not interested, or have never showed interest in that head coach role. But I received a message, and I was talking to somebody in the football fraternity, that living overseas but close to the football, close to some bigger heads in the football, and would have also said, hey, listen, Merron Garden have showed interest. Some may say, here's a Merron Garden have never really shown interest in the head coach manager role, but this figure say, hey, Merron Garden showed a little bit of interest. I'm like, okay, where is this going? Hey, Merron Garden lack ambition. He's not ambitious of not even craving for that head coach role for the senior men's national team after he have went through different appointments in the youth setup as well. The new interim head coach would have said, hey, Merron Garden and a few, like Peart and Vasserenas, they are some of the highly, certified coach in the country as well. So I don't know. But normally in a football team, whenever the head coach is leaving, normally if he's going to step away and there's going to be an interim, maybe if he was hired by that particular manager who is parting ways with the team, normally they will work with the manager. But he have never hired by Steve McLaren. McLaren came and see Merron Garden. So Merron Garden who have been around so many different coaches, he's saying that they have never showed interest after head coach role. I mean, that is something to think about. So leave your thoughts down there in the comment section and let me know what you think, if Merron Garden should have at least considered the role, which I think I mean, what I can see on the outside, I don't think he equipped enough to be that head coach. You know, the interim head coach. This is my own opinion. You understand? I could be wrong, but this is my own opinion. I don't think he probably equipped enough as yet. Is it Ruder Speed equipped enough to be the interim head coach? Let me know what is it down there in the comment section. But the Craig Butler and the Ruder Speed war is a long, ever-standing battle that will never end. But that is it, people. Thanks for passing through. Really appreciate you guys. The Reggae Girlz is back. Big game on Saturday in St. Lucia versus Dominica. The last time a Jamaica team played Dominica, away, we beat them 3-2 in Dominica. Actually, that played in Dominica. Now this game is playing on a neutral venue. I don't know why. I don't heard the stories. You understand? I didn't finish watch all the reports that's going around the Reggae Girlz team. But big up on yourself. Thanks for passing through. Really appreciate you guys being here. Ciao, ciao, salute.